10 years goes by really fast. Zombieland 2 Double Tap is once again directed by Ruben Fleischer and stars Jesse Eisenberg, Woody Harrelson, Emma Stone, and Abigail Breslin reprising their roles from the original movie. This time, the gang goes on an adventure to find Little Rock after she runs away in an attempt to find more people her age to hang out with in Zombieland. This is such a crazy time because there's a lot of movies that get reboots and sequels and remakes, and not all of them really need it. And you can tell, especially the ones where they wait a really long time and then bring it back, it's not guaranteed that these are always going to be hit or even capture the magic of the original. But I think in this case, they actually did. I think Double Tap was just as good as the first one, and they were able to capture the magic but also add some new things to really keep it fresh. So let's get into it. So what worked? First thing that stood out to me was the action. They found way more creative ways to kill zombies in this movie, which I think is very unique to Zombieland, is that it's very wacky and over the top, and they just find really crazy ways to kill zombies and they kind of make a game out of it, which is really entertaining to watch. But also they found ways to hype up the action and build up the stakes, because we see a lot of new zombies appearing and we see how they're evolving, which makes it even more dangerous, and that adds this tension. Even though there's a lot of comedy and there's a lot of heart, but there's also a lot of tension because you don't know where these zombies are going to come from, and you don't know if they're even going to make it, because these zombies, these new ones, are pretty strong. Another thing that was great about this movie was the performances. We have the core four again reprising the roles, and again, sometimes it's kind of hard to nail the magic of the first one, but I think they really did well. In the 10 years since the last one, we have 3 Oscar nominees and 1 Oscar winner, Emma Stone. And to see them come back and do just a crazy, wacky movie was great, because this movie would not be the same without these characters, without these actors. So I'm glad they were able to come back and be in the sequel. There are also a lot of great new characters, like Madison, played by Zoe Dutch, who at first in the trailer seemed like she'd be really annoying, but I actually really enjoyed her being around, because seeing her play off of the others and everybody just giving her weird looks and what is this girl's problem? And then her performance, Zoe Dutch, just one of her best performances, I think, because she's just so over the top, so wacky, so ditzy. She was one of the funniest parts of this movie, I think. And then there's Rosario Dawson playing Nevada, who gives Tallahassee a run for his money, and I loved their dynamic and their chemistry on screen. Something I like that they kept from the original movie was the motion graphics. Whenever Columbus tells you about a new rule, the way that these motion graphics come in just kept more creative, and you see how each graphic kind of represents or visualizes each rule, and I thought that was really great. And they even add to it when Thomas Middleditch's character, who's a doppelganger to Columbus, shows up and he has his own set of rules, and that adds these new graphics too, so I thought that was really great. And one more thing I really liked about this movie was the character development. We see from the last movie to now, the characters have grown closer to each other as a family, but we also see how they've grown as individuals, and we see them going in different directions, but they're still trying to make it in the zombie apocalypse. We also see how they interact with these new characters, how some of them click, some of them don't click, and that adds a lot of comedy and extra wackiness to the movie, which I think makes it really entertaining. What didn't work? I just have 2 small nitpicks. These aren't really big deal breakers. This movie was still good, but these are things that would have made it just a little bit better. First thing, I think they showed way too much in the trailers. They showed a lot of sequences, not the best ones, but they did show some pretty good ones in the trailer, and I feel like they would have been nice to just see them in the movie itself, And then the second thing is, not all of the jokes landed for me, especially towards the beginning. Some of them were kind of a chuckle, but not me dying. But then as the movie went on, the jokes started to pick up and it got a little funnier, but I think the stronger part for this movie was the action more than the comedy, and the whole family aspect, seeing these characters' relationships. I think those are what really made this movie unique and what makes Zombieland such a great, I guess you can call it a franchise, but it's only really 2 movies. So I think it was still good. These 2 things aren't deal breakers, like I said. These are just things that stood out to me. The verdict. I think Zombieland Double Tap is a great time. Sequels aren't always easy to pull off, especially 10 years after the original, but I believe Zombieland 2 Double Tap not only has the spirit of the original, but also gives us something new. We have great characters, great new characters, awesome zombie kills, and a lot of heart. So I definitely recommend checking this one out in theaters. Did you see Zombieland 2 Double Tap this weekend? What did you think? Let me know down in the comments. Also, don't forget to like this video, share it, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one. Oh, yeah, and by the way, stay for the mid-credit scene. I think this is one of the best mid-credit scenes of the year so far. Definitely check it out.